Hello, I'm Jim, and I want to show you a design that I made for a box crafter. This is effectively a way to store a lot of boxes, a lot of shulker boxes in a very compact space. As you can see, it doesn't take a lot of space, but it provides as much storage for your boxes, for your empty boxes, as yeah, that one. That is 32 double chests with hoppers. And the way it does it is just by storing the shells instead of the boxes already crafted. The way this works is that every time you press the notebook, this notebook here, or rather when you power this block here, this crafter here, it gives out a box. You have to input the shells, logs, so it converts them into wood and then into chests, and something to do the dye that is going to provide the color to the box. If you want to give not, for example, bone meal, that gets then converted into white dye, but instead the dye directly, then you can just change this into a dropper, and then here input the dye or whatever. Yeah, the dye. So if you have the dye already, oh wait, no, it's up. If you have the dye already, oh, okay. If you have the dye already done and you want to input it right away, you can change it to a dropper. But if not, then a crafter, it works fine. And that way you can connect this into a composer or into a farm of some type. This is quite handy for a storage system or for a farm, for example, where you store things into shulkers. So you use a shulker loader, and for that normally you would have a lot of chests with a lot of empty boxes that then get used to store the output of the farm. But with this way, it's just you connect it to here, you connect it to the top crafter, which could also be looking that way, and then you have a steady. Every time you trigger his, you receive a box. I'm going to leave. Wait, I am the snapshot 23W51B, which means it is not. Which means it might be changed, the crafter in the future, which might change this design or make it not work anymore. I don't think that's the case. I don't think it's going to don't work anymore. If they change it, it's not going to be something that will break this. However, I'm going to put in the description if that happens. So before you build it, I recommend you looking there. Yeah. But so I'm going to leave a world download and also show you how to do it. Let's do a set block glass. You put first the crafter that is pointing upwards. This one is going to be the one of the two that converts logs into wood. We need two because the chests use each 4. Each use 8, and the logs provide 4 wood planks. You put another of these here, also with just one slot available, so it also will produce logs, wood from logs. Then you place a dropper there with a chest on top, which is going to have the logs. I'm going to take some from here, and now I'm just going to fill it. It has to have at least 5. It has to have at least 6 stacks for this to work. But you would normally just have a lot, so it should not be a problem. If you want to use it right away, I recommend you putting here a stack so that it has already here inside, because then it's going to take some logs, put it into here, and then from here into here. And then when this and this are full, then this one is going to get filled. Then you put a crafter here. This is the one that is going to do the chests. So you have to deactivate that slot there. And now if we try it, it's going to power these two, convert the logs into wood, and make the form of the chest, but not do the chest yet. That's going to be on the next. Then you put a crafter here, which is pointing upwards. It's pointing upwards. This one is going to do the shells. No, this is going to do the bugs. So we're going to activate the slots, and for it to do the slots, it has to have at least one chest. In my in practice, it's only required one chest, but I would put two. And then you put a hopper here with the shells, with this chest and the shells. And then the shells are going to flow inside and chew that in that way. Yeah, so, and then this is going to go into another crafter. This is going to output the shulker boxes, but without a color. It's going to go into this crafter. If you don't need it with a color, then you could just use the output of this right away. But of course I wanted to do the color, so you point it into this crafter, which is going to turn the boxes into the colors, with a hopper here, a crafter underneath, and then a hopper into that crafter with a chest here. And the chest you're going to be putting the dye, the thing that does the dye. So for example, let's go for lapis. You could then put lapis here. This would go inside. Again, I forgot. You have to disable the other ones so that the dye actually gets created. And now it fills there, and whenever it gets powered, it's going to convert into dye and go inside here. Yeah. If you want to use dye instead directly, instead of something to do the dye, you put a a dropper. And then here on this chest, instead of putting the material that is going to make the dye, you put the dye itself. I'm going to use, for example, cyan. And then you just put this one. It's going to go inside into the dropper. And when you power it, the dropper is going to give the dye into the hopper and then inside here. So the next one is blue, but then it's cyan. That's how you do it. Some notes that should be made again, as well, I guess, is that the hoppers here, they can have composters. I'm probably going to put composters whenever I use it on top, not only because of lag, which is not actually a problem here because it's just two hoppers, so I don't think it should be a problem, but actually because it might happen, depending on your system where you're using it, that some items go and get into the hoppers if you don't have the composters. So if you accidentally drop some things on top and then they go into the crafter, there's going to be a problem because that won't allow the boxes to be made. So I would put a composter. It doesn't have to be a composter, it can be other things as well. Just not, well, I mean, a block would also work, but only a full block. If you put, for example, mod, which is not entirely full, that would not work, for example. That would still take the block. So yeah. Other thing to consider is that... No, I think that was all. Yeah, that's it. Okay. Thank you for watching. Let me know if you use this system. I hope it is useful and you use it for your farms or your storage systems or whatever. I would like to know because it's cool. Yeah, that's all. Bye-bye.